Good morning. My name is Miss Bianca, and this is
Miss Rachel
and
Miss Cindy.
And welcome to Boys and Girls Club. We're so glad you decided to join us today. Today's activity is called Around the World, and we will be traveling to West Africa. When we're at the club, we want everyone to feel like they belong. It's no different here online. First off, make sure you have permission to participate in summer enrichment camp from your parent or guardian. Secondly, grab your Club on the Go bag. There may be some supplies found inside for today's activity. Lastly, have fun. Take quizzes, send us your work, leave comments. So are you ready?
Ready.
Awesome. Let's get started.
All right, so today we will be traveling from Brazil, which was our last country last week. We're going to be traveling across the Atlantic Ocean to the continent of West Africa, to the country called Ghana. We will be landing at the Kente International Airport in the capital city of Ghana, which is called Accra. So now that we have landed in West Africa, we're going to learn about a type of textile or cloth that originated from Ghana. And we're also going to learn, of course, how to make our flag. Remember, as we were traveling for the next 6 weeks of summer, we're going to make a flag from every country that we visit. And now to Miss Bianca for some quick facts about Africa.
So, did you know that Ghana was the first black African colony to gain its independence in 1957?
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either.
Ghana also used to be called the Gold Coast. So it wasn't just Ghana, it was the Gold Coast. And Ghana means warrior king.
I did hear that. Something about the Ghana cloth, the warriors used to wear it.
Yep. So it means warrior king. And 1.6 million people live in Ghana grow cocoa, like the real pure chocolate.
Yes, we need our chocolate, so we're very thankful for that. And with that 1.6 million, I can believe that because Africa is the second largest continent and it's made up of 54 countries. That's a lot of countries, and inside the countries, we know that there's states and cities. They might not be called states, but I'm sure they have cities. And Miss Rachel is going to name some of those cities. Not all 54, Miss Rachel. I don't think we have time for that today.
Okay, so some we have Algeria, we have Egypt, we have Sudan, we have Angola, let's see, we have South Africa, and let's see, one more. Let's see, let's pick one. Ethiopia.
So that's just a few of them. That's probably the biggest ones on there, but there's probably a lot of little tiny ones to fit 54 in there. So the main one we're going to talk about today is Ghana, which is also, like she said, on the Gold Coast. So it's got a lot of beautiful ocean there too. So do we know anything about Ghana? Did you know anything before we went into this lesson?
I know it's a beautiful place.
Yes, I've seen pictures and
it's large. It's so large.
And I knew it was in Africa, but that's really all.
Okay. And so we've learned some facts, and we're also going to learn some different facts. We're going to learn how we compare us here in the United States in America compared to how they live in Ghana, West Africa. The first thing we're going to talk about is some of the animals. What are some animals that we have here in Louisiana or the United States? What do you see around your neighborhood? Or
birds, like dogs or cats.
Dogs, cats. I think that's the main thing, dogs and cats. Well, in Ghana, their main animals, like how we see a cat walking down the street or a bird or a stray dog, they actually have chimpanzees, elephants, and lions that walk in their streets. Now the lions, I think, are a little bit more stay toward the jungle area or the the land, but this particular elephant right here is drinking out of someone's swimming pool. So could you imagine looking in your backyard and seeing an elephant in your swimming pool?
Crazy.
Right.
And then the chimpanzees.
Oh, don't worry, he's not gonna bother you. He's just in my backyard.
So the kids grow up you know, walking on the streets and seeing those kind of animals. And if we walk up and down the street seeing dogs and cats and maybe an armadillo or something like that. But I think I would run if I saw an elephant in my backyard.
I don't run from a stray dog, so I can just imagine.
Yeah, so the kids probably grew up, they don't think twice about it. Another thing we want to compare with is the government, how it's run, and there are different parts of it. Our capital in Louisiana, do you know what our capital city is?
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, that's where we live. But the capital in Ghana is called Accra. And that was what the airport where we landed is. And also their money. So they have this kind of money. It's called Ghanaian cedis, C-E-D-I. And this says, it looks like 10 cents. We were trying to figure out the conversion rate, but we couldn't calculate it. But this is what their dollars look like. And of course here we use regular dollar bills. And we didn't have one of them either. So we talked about how the money's different, the animals are different. And then now we are going to make, well, we'll get to that in a minute, our language. What do you think the language is in West Africa, in Ghana?
I don't know. What about you, Miss Bianca?
I know they speak several different languages, but the primary language is English.
English, just like us. That's one thing they have in common with us. And another thing we like to compare with every place we hear about is the food. Like, what are our main foods over here? Well, we'll start out with our main foods in Louisiana. What are our main foods in Louisiana?
Seafood.
Yep. Crawfish,
crawfish,
boudin,
gumbo. It's the main thing that we're all having in common. Right, that's our main foods. But in the whole United States, I think one of the things where you can get everywhere you go is the hamburger.
Yeah.
The hamburger, because some states don't serve the gumbo or don't know how to make it. But I think everybody has a version of a hamburger.
Yep.
So what do you think about in Ghana? What do you think that their most popular food would be?
Probably rice.
Rice. I think they eat a lot of fish because they're on the coast. So I've seen a lot of pictures of fish.
Chicken.
And chicken. And
but
everything.
It's not processed, so that will be the difference between their chicken or their fish compared to when you come to the United States. And
right. It's probably straight, fresh, you know, caught of the day, and then has a lot of fresh markets there.
And natural spices.
Right. I can imagine with the amount of, like you said, they even grow the cocoa, so they probably have chocolate and everything, cocoa powder. But what we do have a picture of one of their famous meals. You'll find in a lot of the restaurants. It's called jollof rice, and it's not in color, but it's rice with tomato sauce, different spices, and usually served with a meat, either fish or chicken. And a lot of the fish you see will still have the head on, and it actually brings a lot of flavor to the fish. But you don't have to eat the head, but you can. And everything. So that would be some of the, I know. Do you ever get a fish from a restaurant that has a head on it here? No.
I would hate to see the eyes staring at me.
But maybe we're missing the best part of the fish. We'll never know. Unless we go over there.
So have you had jollof rice before?
I have because we have in my school we have different cultures, and we have cultural week, and they bring different dishes and stuff. So I've had foods from India, foods from Africa, and Mexico.
What about you, Miss Rachel?
No, I never had it before. I have to go and try it.
I've had it before, and it was delicious. It reminded me of like a jambalaya, but like I said, the spices is just all infused in this rice.
I can imagine, because we think of rice and tomato sauce. Well, anybody can make that, but the spices have to make all the difference. And probably with that fish, their fish is probably nothing like our fish. It's probably full of flavor and everything. So one of our activities we're going to do today, of course, is we're going to make our flag from Ghana, West Africa. So what you're going to need is a piece of green construction paper, a piece of yellow construction paper, red, and a piece of black. We already have ours cut out for us just to make it go a little faster. Just remember that you can watch this video over if we go too fast or you don't have the materials. You can always watch it over to when you get your materials. So the colors of the flag, again, we said were green, yellow, and red. Now a lot of flags have the same colors, but it all depends on how it's laid out, whether it's across, diagonal, or what color comes first. So green, we're gonna start out with green, and I'm gonna show you how to do it if you don't have any scissors, so you don't have to cut your paper, and you can tape it, or you can glue it, or you can staple it, however you need to put it together. So we're gonna take our green, and we're just gonna use a whole sheet of green paper first, okay? So then our middle color is yellow. You can either cut out a piece of yellow paper, you're gonna fold it long ways, which they call hot dog, and you can cut it out, or you can just leave it folded, okay? And you're gonna put that right in the middle, okay? So you want, move it up a little bit so you have the green and yellow equal. Don't glue it down yet, just set it on there because you want to make sure all three of your colors are exactly even, okay? So don't fasten it down yet. Then you're going to get a piece of red, and you're also going to fold it hamburger style, and you're going to put it on top of your yellow, so it's all going to look like this: green, yellow, and red. And red's actually on top. So I'm going to show you how to do it without cutting the paper. What I did is I took my green, left it whole, and then I took my red and I folded it so I don't have to cut it, and I'm going to put it on the paper. Then I'm going to take my yellow, and then I'm going to put it, fold it, and put it inside the red a little bit so that I can space them apart and just slide them down. So that way I didn't have to cut anything. I just laid them on top of each other, okay? So that way if you don't have scissors or anything like that, you can still put it together. We want you to be able to use the resources you have. And if you really want to tear, you can always crease it and fold it and just keep pressing down your crease and tear it like yourself, like that. So once you have your colors put together like this in your stripes and make them as even as possible, then you're going to cut out a star. The star is going to be black construction paper. Stars are very hard to make, but we have Miss Rachel trace our stars. That's why they look so perfect here. But it doesn't matter what your star looks like. It doesn't matter if it's big or little, whatever you desire. Okay, and we're going to tape that right in the middle of the yellow. And just remember, by the end of this summer camp experience, 6 weeks, you should have at least 5 different flags from the countries that we have visited. So this is my flag, and Miss Bianca's is a little bit bigger than mine. This is my flag, and it goes red, yellow, and green.
This is my flag. Red, yellow, and green as well.
And you can write on the back of it what country it's from. And Miss Bianca's flag's a little bigger, so it doesn't matter what size or how you do it. All right, so everybody made their flag. So you can put that aside. Add it to your collection on your wall. Make sure you take pictures and send your pictures in so we can see your flags. And now we're going to move on to our next activity, which is the
Kente Cloth. So in Ghana, they have a clothing called a Kente Cloth. So the Kente Cloth means warlike. So the Ashanti people fiercely resisted attempts to be conquered by the British. So one of the Ashanti brothers stumbled upon a beautiful spider web. The spider name was Anansi. He offered to teach them how to weave beautiful designs by interlacing threads over and under each other.
Okay, and the Kente cloth was originally made for royalty to wear and only for special occasions, but now in this day and time everybody wears it. Even the tourists, when they go there, they buy the Kente cloth accessories or clothing, and they wear them also.
You might also have some at home. Your parents might have some, or his brother or sister.
And they also, the Kente cloth is made of certain colors, and the colors have meanings. So back in the day when they wore their clothing, it depended on if they were going to war, if they were having a peace talk, if they were going to a wedding or a death. Every Kente cloth had specific meaning. So we're going to talk about what the colors mean in the Kente cloth. So Miss Bianca, do you want to go over the colors?
Of course. So black stands for darkness or mystery. Red is love, passion, and anger. White is innocence and spirituality. Green signifies life, growth, and harmony. Yellow, wealth, gold, glory, and joy. Blue, wisdom and peace. Purple stands for earth, healing, femininity. And gold, royalty, high status, glory, spiritual purity.
And I do think they have a few other colors, but these were the basic colors that we can find. So now we're going to go on to making your own Kente cloth. Now we're going to make it out of construction paper today, but once you learn how to do this, you can get your own cloth and cut it in strips and weave it and maybe make a pillowcase or anything that you would like. But we're going to use construction paper because it's just easy for us. So out of these colors that Miss Bianca named, we need you to choose 2 colors. And remember the meanings of them when you choose your color, so it can represent how you are feeling maybe today. So we're going to choose our main colors. Do you know what colors you want?
I'm going to choose green. And yellow.
I choose green and blue.
Oh, that's right, got the stripes. Blue, blue for your thing. And I'm gonna choose red and purple, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of your pieces of paper and you are going to fold it hamburger style, short style, just like this, okay? So after you have chose your 2 colors, and you can use more colors than this, Miss Rachel is actually going to be using 3 colors, and when you get better at it and start practicing, you can add 5, 6 colors at a time. But since it's the beginning, we're going to start out easy. So you're going to take your first color paper, and like I said, you're going to fold it in half, short ways, and you're going to measure 2 fingers, and you can take something to write your lines on. Measure 2 fingers and put a mark, 2 fingers, a mark, 2 fingers, a mark, 2 fingers, a mark, 2 fingers, a mark, and so on. So then you are going to cut all the way up about half, don't cut the whole page, about 2 fingers from the top. So you want to put a line 2 fingers from the top so you know where to stop. And everywhere that you have marked your 2 fingers, you're going to cut and stop before you get to the very top. Once you get better at this, you can make your slots smaller so you can fit more colors in. But this is just to show you the basics of how to get started. And I think Miss Rachel is actually going to do hers a little bit more complicated. So hers is going to look a little bit different from ours. So once you have that, it should open up like this with some slots. And you're going to put that to the side, okay?
And make sure you have permission to use the scissors.
Yes.
Or have help with the scissors.
Okay. And then your second color, you're going to get a piece of paper and you are going to fold it. You can fold it halfway also. Then you're just going to do the same thing, 2 fingers mark it, but you're going to cut it all the way to the top, okay? And when you get done, you're going to have a bunch of strips of paper, okay? So that's your second color. And like I said, Miss Rachel has 3 colors, so she had to have 3 pieces of paper. If you want to tackle one like that, then you should have 3 colors. So our one piece of paper is cut into slits like this. Our other paper is like this. So now we're going to start weaving. So we're going to take one of our colors. You're going to lift up. You're going to go under, over, under, over, and under. So it should look like that. Every other square should be a different color. Okay? Then you're going to take your next strip and you're going to do the opposite. That one's over, so you're going to go under, over, under, over, under, over. So it should look like this. One color, the next color. If it's the same color, if you have 2 reds or 2 colors, then you need to go back and do it the opposite way. So it should kind of look like a checkerboard, and then you keep going. Every other one is going to be the same. So go ahead and weave your pieces through, under, over, under, over. See, I have 3 pieces. See, I have blue, red, blue. So my next one should be red. So just follow into your strips. Like I said, once you get better at this, you can do all different colors, you can do all different textiles, and this is actually called weaving.
You can make the strips smaller.
If you have a little bit of trouble weaving, it's okay. Just take it out and do it over, and that way you can just practice and you'll get it.
Can you pass me some more?
What color?
Blue and green, if they have some. Okay.
I don't think they have any green to cut some more. You kind of got to be a little careful so you don't tear your paper, but if you tear your paper, it's okay. Like we said, this is just practice. You can always go back and make a better one or see what you didn't like about your first one and fix it in the second one. So once you have it all weaved, like I said, it should look like a checkerboard. And it's going to be hanging over to the sides. And we're going to fix that in a minute. We're going to wait for everybody to catch up. So Miss Bianca wanted to go a little harder and do 3 colors also. And then slide your pieces to see if they fit. And once you're done, it should look something like this. Mine has 2 colors. Miss Rachel's has 3 colors. It look like little windows. And Miss Bianca has 3 colors too. And she's going to show you hers in a minute. So you can turn it over, and your little edges that are sticking off, you fold them to make them even with the paper, or you can cut them off. But you can tape them down so that they're even, so they're not hanging over anymore. Like I said, you can fold them over and tape them, or you can cut them off. I would fold them over first and then cut them off so you can see how even it is. And so when you turn it over on the other side, you have a framed piece without the extra pieces turned over. Like that. And it looks like a little frame. Now, if you master this and you get really good at the weaving, you don't have to have the frame. You can just have the strips and learn how to weave them without this whole piece of paper. And learn different designs. Don't forget to take pictures of your Kente cloth. We want to see if you come up with any different designs than what we did. We definitely want to see them because we want to learn too. If you use anything besides construction paper, we definitely want to see that. If you added extra designs to your work, we want to see that too. I think Miss Rachel said she was gonna, what did you say you were gonna make with your Kente cloth, Miss Rachel?
A shirt.
She said she wanted to make a shirt with her design. We're gonna have to see if she wears a construction paper shirt to work. Or you can, like I said, you can do it out of real cloth once you get really good at it. All right. So we have Miss Bianca. She has yellow, green, and white. Miss Bianca, why did you choose those colors?
For the white, it signifies the innocence and spirituality. That's the journey that I'm on in my life. Then there is the yellow, the wealth, the gold, glory, and joy. We work towards wealth and gold and being glorious and joyful. And then green, life, growth, and harmony. I'm just in a beautiful space in life, so that's why I chose these 3.
And Miss Bianca, why did you choose, Miss Rachel, why did you choose your colors?
Okay, so I chose red because of love. I chose green because of life. I like to enjoy life and I chose blue because during life I like to be peaceful and I like to have joy, so that's why I chose my colors.
And I chose my colors because, first of all, purple is one of my favorite colors, but purple is for healing. And we all need some healing right now, so we need to wear a lot of purple. I definitely need to wear a lot of purple. And red can be different. Love, passion, and anger. It's like, how do you put those together? But my reason is passion. Passion, I love to make arts and crafts. I love to learn about new things. So learning about these new countries is very passionate for me. So passion and healing. Okay, so now that we have made our Kente cloth, we have made our flag, let's talk about what we learned today, because we came in, we didn't know a lot. So tell me something you learned, Miss Rachel, that you did not know.
That the whole tradition on wearing Kente cloth was based on a folk tale. So, you know, everyone has their own traditions. And so Ghana, I don't know.
It was from a spider. I mean, how many times have you talked to a spider? So you know, it was a tale that probably went from a long time ago to now, and it's just kept its tradition, and it actually taught them how to weave. And so once the spider taught them how to weave, I think they come up with their own colors of, let's wear this color because we're angry today, or let's wear this color because we're spiritual today. So that's really cool, because I don't put my gray shirt on today because I feel gray. I just put it on because I, you know, liked it. They have a lot of meaning, and their clothes speak out with how they feel and how they live. What about you, Miss Bianca?
I learned that there's 54 different countries in Ghana.
That is a lot.
I mean, in Africa, I'm sorry.
In
Africa.
That is a lot of countries in Africa. That is amazing. I wonder if each country, you know, knows each other. It's probably pretty far to get from one country to another, like from us to get to here to New York and everything. So one thing I learned was the animals. I'm a big animal person, and you know, I've always kind of wanted a monkey. You know, I've seen the little monkeys with the diapers on and everything, and I wonder how I'd like them if I saw them walking on the street all the time and everything. And so that would be interesting for me to go there and see the different kind of animals, because I don't see them except for in a zoo here. So we always think of them as a dangerous animal, but these animals drink out of the pool in their water, and they're laying out
every day.
Yeah, they're laying out at their pool. Like, oh, the elephant just came and drank, just like a bird comes and drinks out of our pool. So that's pretty cool for me. And so, guys, we hope you enjoyed your trip to Ghana, West Africa. We've been to 2 countries so far. We traveled to Brazil and out of West Africa. We want you to, like we said, send in your pictures, send in any facts that you found out about Ghana that we did not cover. Do your research. Also, we want you to join us next week as we travel to another country, Japan. So get ready. And we hope you enjoyed learning about Ghana and West Africa and their culture. And remember, to, like we said, to interact. Leave your comments below so we can see what you learned or how you liked it. Yeah, send in your work, because we want to post that on our boards.
Your flags, your Kente cloth.
Everything. And if you made something better than us, which we know you will. And remember to watch Facebook for Boys and Girls Club. And that's all for today. Until next time, happy travels.
Bye.